favourite song?
Oh, it's hard to find a favourite when there's so many amazing songs. Ellen is such an amazing composer, but I feel like my favourite song is certainly Sister Act. It's a moment and it's the arc of Dolores where she finds that it's her sisters that are going to get her through this, and I don't think she'd had that before. She's had friends, but nothing like the sisterhood and the love and joy that these women have brought her. So yeah, it sometimes gets quite emotional. I feel like tonight it will be emotional as well, but it's that moment in the show where it settles. I'm not belting notes, I'm not giving my vocally my all, but I'm certainly embodying that emotion, and it's just this beautiful, powerful moment that I love.
We do.
Hey Rhonda, I notice you're not wearing your beloved Jimmy Choo.
I tell
Can
you,
we talk through that, please?
we can talk. I usually go with a 5-inch heel, but this is next level comfy Nui. Very, very sensible. As I said, the bunions are loving that. Who would have thought?
Rhonda, you've played so many roles over the years. How does it feel to play the, in inverted commas, naughty nun in this?
Well, she starts off as probably the toughest, the most strict, but I get under the spell of Dolores, and suddenly this crazy cat of a nun who raps and taps and flies. Dolores brings out this kind of thing that I never thought, Sister Lazarus would have inside her, but she awakens this crazy nun.
It's really what the show's about, isn't it? The power of music to unleash the spirit that sometimes has been hidden for many, many years. So it's the beauty of our show.
Yeah, it is. And as Casey said, that moment at the end, we every night we're in tears hearing. I mean, we've done it, I don't know how many performances so far, but it's just so empowering and so emotional, the whole message of this show. It's beautiful.
Genevieve, what's it like for you being in this show? And what have you learned about your character that you maybe might have been different to what you would have thought before?
Well, I actually had 13 years of schooling with nuns, so I knew them very well. I knew quite a few spectacular mothers superior, and I really early on in rehearsal I realised that I was representing some very important women because they're so often portrayed as extremes of character, and certainly most of them, I imagine, begin as just pure love of God. And something as pure as that, whatever the purity is in somebody's spirit, I'm representing that person who's been doing it for an awfully long time. She must have been a nun for probably 50 years, I think. And I knew nuns like that. I knew nuns that I'm probably older than they are. At the time you think they're ancient and not really women, and all the things you don't realise when you're a kid and you have to grow up to find out, or play a role like this to sort of find the humanity in people, and I love that I get to represent that. And even though she's cranky, she gets her moments of looking for insight, which is what most of us are doing.
The film came out in 1992. There's many lovers out there of the film. What does this show offer beyond what the film does?
I think the freshness of the music is, we know the songs from the movie, but the freshness and the lyrics are so clever in this. The choreography is next level. We have such a workout in the habits. It's pretty special. It takes the film, but takes it to another level.
And everybody loves the film, but I think a lot of people probably haven't seen it in 30 years. And this is a revelation because we really do take the themes and the story and take it to another level. That's what the creators of this show have done. And Alan Menken's score is not to be trifled with. It's like a Rembrandt painting. It's like the most beautiful piece of art in itself, and it follows the show and it builds the show and it shapes the show, and it's such an important part of our show.
And can I say to our orchestra, led by Daniel Griffiths, to have live music every night, We used to have it back in the day, we'd have as many as, full orchestras, but now we still have this wonderful orchestra, and there's nothing like for us as performers to sing and perform with a live orchestra
music
8 times a week. It's phenomenal.
How do you feel that this show has changed your perspective on friendship and faith?
I don't know, it always seems such a heavy topic, and our show really, really just rings it back and rings it out and takes it back to joy. And the feeling that you get in a community of people who are reaching for the same thing, which is just love and meaning in their lives and the joy of this music. It's all part of the package, and we're so lucky to get to do it every day.
And it's a great company too. I mean, we've all been in many companies, but this is a really beautiful company.
It's a great company, crew and cast. We're having a lovely, lovely time bringing it now to the people of Melbourne. Very exciting.
And to this gorgeous theatre too.
I know, it's stunning.
It's
Yeah, look at
beautiful
it.
theatre.
Yeah.
It sits so beautifully in this beautiful region. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
And what's the take-home message? What do you want audiences to go away with?
Joy and hope, and knowing that you can come to a show and just enjoy yourself and have a great night at the theatre. And I think in the world that we're living in right now, I think that's what people need. And it's a story of friendship and love and community, and I feel like a lot of people that I've met at Stage Door have just loved this show. And some people come up and they're like, we didn't know, we've watched the movie, but this is so much more. And to have groups of women and the Probers clubs come in on a Wednesday and
men and nuns habits.
It's just joyful. It's this joyful show, and I feel like people will just take away that was a great day or night at the theatre, and hopefully they'll tell their friends and family, and they can come along and enjoy the rest of the Melbourne season with us.
I agree. The last show that I did with the same kind of reaction was the original Mamma Mia in 2000. Where the audience just get on their feet. They are so joyous at the end. They exploding with joy, and we are all in a multitude of colour, But that's the kind of vibe that we get. That if you could compare another show with this, I think.
And also the arc of the show that we keep coming back to Alan Menken because he is such a genius. But we hear people who haven't heard these songs before, most of them. And they love the songs, they love the music, but the cheers get louder and louder throughout the show as they're just getting the vibe of this fantastic music.
Yeah.
You kind of touched on it before, but did you take any moments or inspiration from the movie or past productions from your characters?
I've never seen a production of it. I didn't even look at the video. So what I bring is totally like this crazy Rhonda going on, putting this habit on and going wild. There are the characters, of course. Jen.
I'm playing the character that was created by the late, great Maggie Smith. So first of all, I changed the accent because I didn't want that comparison. And you just look for the truth. And of course, Maggie Smith was one of the most truthful actors that any of us have ever seen. And it's my honour to be following her footsteps. But yeah, it's not like you try and copy anyone. Sometimes you look just out of interest's sake, but you're always looking for the truth. And whether that somebody else gives you that key to that, or whether you find it in yourself with the director and the cast, it's it's all up to the gods, really.
We heard earlier that this is a new adaptation of the musical, and you're talking about creating your characters as your own. How much liberty did you have to create these characters, and how much input did you have in your character's development?
Quite a bit, actually, which was really, really nice. Stepping into the shoes of Whoopi Goldberg from the movie, but also, Beverly Knight, who played it in the UK. There have been some amazing, strong women that have played Dolores Van Cartier, and they've all brought something to her that is new and exciting. So creating this character for me was, again, the one thing I love about theatre is finding that truth in the story and, kind of letting yourself dream and imagine. And that's the one thing I love about theatre is you get to, put on these costumes and create these characters. So
I love it that Casey actually, I so remember when we were in rehearsal talking about making it her own. You were going to go shopping. She said, I have to find a perfume that is right for Dolores. I thought of all the things like we were doing, like, but I have to find the right perfume. So
Yeah.
you went off and you got 2 70s perfumes that were around in the 70s.
Yeah.
So I smell this fragrance. I know when Dolores is on stage or when she's about to go. It's this beautiful, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we just all make it our own.
We were very lucky to have that, not original team, but the original adaptive team who knew the script so well. And the script, we must tell you, is very, very fine, and it's so funny. It's terribly witty. For anybody who has had a Catholic background, you'll get all the jokes. Everybody else will get 98% of them. But it's very clever. It's very fun, and we were working with that team the whole time. So
Bill
it was very
Buckhurst.
collaborative.
Bill
Yeah.
Buckhurst was our director, and he was wonderful.
And Alistair David.
They had that, but they let us do
Find the truth
find
in
what
it.
we
Yeah.
wanted to do with it, make it our own.
Yeah.
And Rhonda, I believe you made little gifts for the cast. Was that right? I
Oh,
saw that.
yeah. I love a gift. When I did Hairspray, I made Barbies for the cast. In Sydney, I had little pot plants with their habits on.
And glass.
And
Yeah, they're
glasses.
adorable.
Yes.
Still got mine in my
Yeah.
room.
And they lasted. I don't know how many made it down to Melbourne, but
Oh, they lasted really
a
well.
long
Yeah.
time.